Imagine walking into your local grocery store, only to find that many of your go-to essentials are no longer on the shelves. Prices are hitting record highs, and some of the most common items in our shopping carts are becoming harder and harder to find. This is not some distant possibility. It's already starting to happen right now. And experts predict that by May 2025, things are only going to get worse. The way we shop for food is changing forever. Today, we're uncovering the shocking truth about the 10 essential foods that are disappearing faster than you think, and the surprising reasons behind their scarcity. From skyrocketing prices to supply chain issues and environmental factors, you'll want to stick around as we reveal what's really driving these shortages. Don't be caught off guard on your next grocery trip. Watch now to learn which items might vanish from your cart for good and how you can prepare for what's coming. 10. In quotes, olive oil. From kitchen staples to luxury goods. All right, let's talk olive oil. Today, it's that essential bottle sitting on your kitchen counter. But fast forward a couple years, and it might just be a luxury item. That is, if you can even find it on store shelves. Here's the situation. Olive oil prices are skyrocketing, and they're not slowing down. Walk into the store now, and that trusted $6.00 bottle you used to grab without thinking, it's jumped to $10.00 or more. And the reason isn't just inflation or supply chain issues we've all heard about. This goes much deeper. Europe, specifically Spain and Italy, the world's olive oil powerhouses, are in climate crisis mode. Imagine this. Temperatures soaring past 115 degrees Fahrenheit. Scorching heat waves, one after the other. Droughts dragging on for years. These conditions are punishing olive groves. And guess what? Trees don't bounce back overnight. Spain alone saw its olive production tank by over 60% recently. That's not a little dip. It's a crushing blow to global supply. And here's the kicker. These aren't issues anyone can fix with the snap of a finger or by moving production somewhere else. Once these trees are stressed or destroyed, it's years before they recover, if they even can. Now think about what that means for importers. They're scrambling to buy what little olive oil is left, paying eye-watering prices, and that cost passed straight down to you at checkout. But it's not just about paying more. Some brands are quietly shrinking bottle sizes or blending in lower quality oils to cut corners. Do they tell you? Not always. Even restaurants aren't immune. Many are ditching olive oil entirely, swapping it for cheaper, less healthy alternatives. This isn't just about a drizzle on your salad anymore. It's about survival in a world where olive oil might soon vanish from even the fanciest kitchens. One thing's for sure, if temperatures keep rising, you'll be seeing olive oil bottles less on shelves and more as a distant memory. 9. Imported spices. The hidden kitchen crisis. Picture this. You're cooking your favorite meal, you reach for a spice jar and it's not there. That once useful spice rack? Empty or overpriced. This is the growing struggle in kitchens across the country. Imported spices like black pepper, cinnamon, turmeric, ginger, and nutmeg are becoming harder to find or afford. Here's why. Most of these spices come from Asia and Africa, regions now facing major challenges. Tariffs on agricultural imports have skyrocketed, raising costs before spices even leave the port. Add a global shipping crisis, container shortages and delays have turned logistics into chaos. When the spices do arrive, shipping costs have tripled, and you're paying the price. That $3.00 jar of black pepper from last year, it's now $7.00. But money isn't the only issue. Some staples, like ground ginger, are disappearing from shelves entirely. Specialty grocers serving immigrant communities are hit hardest. For many families, these aren't just ingredients. They're a connection to home, culture, and heritage. Without them, traditional recipes lose their magic. Generational traditions risk fading away. Everyday cooks feel it too. Meal prep gets boring, and creative recipes require compromises. Many settle for bland blends or cheap substitutes, but it's just not the same. Meals lose flavor, and kitchens lose their spark. This isn't just about seasoning. It's about losing creativity, connection, and culture. If these issues continue, imported spices could vanish from everyday kitchens, leaving behind more than just bland meals. 8. Frozen seafood. From freezer staple to vanishing act. That trusty bag of frozen shrimp or fish fillets you relied on for quick, healthy dinners, it's becoming harder to find. And when you do find it, the price is staggering. Frozen seafood, once a go-to for working families, is now disappearing. Affordable and packed with nutrients, frozen seafood was a freezer essential. But since mid-2024, the situation has worsened, and by 2025, shrimp, salmon, tilapia, and even fish sticks are scarce and expensive. Why? The problem lies in America's heavy reliance on imported seafood. Over 85% of what we eat comes from overseas. Countries like Thailand, Vietnam, India, and China have traditionally supplied low-cost frozen options. However, rising trade tensions and steep tariffs have disrupted this supply. Anti-dumping laws aimed at protecting U.S. industries have unintentionally made imports more expensive. On top of that, soaring energy costs have driven up the price of moving and storing frozen seafood, while shipping delays and labor shortages stretch the industry even thinner. Domestic fisheries aren't helping much either. Climate change is disrupting fish migration and reducing catches. NOAA reported a 17% drop in U.S. seafood landings in 2024. Supply is tightening and prices are climbing. Shrimp, for instance, has jumped from $7.99 to over $12.00 per pound in months. For families on a budget, frozen seafood now feels like a luxury. With no improvement in sight, it may soon drift out of reach entirely. 7. Tropical fruits. The fading sweetness on your table. Imagine breakfast without a banana, or a smoothie missing creamy avocado. For years, fruits like bananas, pineapples, mangoes, papayas, and avocados have added vibrant flavors and nutrients to our meals. But in 2025, these staples are harder to find and much more expensive, leaving families across the U.S. searching for alternatives. What's behind this fruity crisis? A mix of climate disruptions, shipping challenges, and rising costs. Most tropical fruits in U.S. stores are imported from countries like Costa Rica, Ecuador, the Philippines, Mexico, and Thailand. These regions, known for their agricultural strength, are battling unpredictable weather. Take bananas and pineapples. Shifting rainfall, droughts, and floods are hammering plantations. Last year, southern Mexico's heavy rains cut mango production by 15%. Cold snaps in Ecuador ruined banana crops. Recovery from these setbacks is slow, creating ripple effects in supermarkets. But the challenges don't stop at farming. Getting tropical fruits from fields to stores is tricky. These delicate fruits need constant refrigeration during transport, which relies on fuel, labor, and smooth logistics. In 2025, fuel prices are high, cold storage is stretched thin, and shipping delays are common. For shoppers, the impact is clear. Banana prices have surged over 30% in a year. Avocados now cost $2.00 or more each. Pineapples, once $2.99, are now $5.99, if you can find them. Rural areas are hit hardest, with stores limiting stocks due to spoilage risks. For families, the change is tough. Bananas in lunchboxes or mango smoothies are becoming rare treats. Immigrant communities who rely on these fruits as cultural staples feel the loss even more. Tropical fruits are no longer everyday items, but special splurges, disappearing from many homes altogether. 6. Coffee, the morning ritual under threat. Picture this. It's a cold morning. You stumble into the kitchen, half asleep, and reach for your coffee. But wait, the tin is empty. No worries, you think. I'll grab some at the store later. But once you're in the aisle, reality hits like a bad caffeine crash. Your once affordable $9.00 bag is now $15.00. That's it, if it's even there. What's causing this chaos? Coffee, especially the beloved Arabica bean, is incredibly sensitive to climate changes, and the major producers, Brazil and Colombia, are in a battle against the elements. One year it's blistering droughts, baking the crops. The next, torrential rains sweeping plantations away. These extreme weather swings are destroying harvests and sending shockwaves across the industry. But the problems don't stop at the farms. The path from field to your cup is paved with challenges. Rising fuel prices, global shipping delays, and tariff disputes have all combined to drive up transportation costs. And guess what? Importers aren't eating that cost. It's us, the consumers, who feel it every time we scan that price tag or pay at the register. Here's the kicker. Some brands and cafes are sneaking in smaller bag sizes or hiking prices on brewed coffee. And yet, for millions, coffee is more than a drink. It's a ritual, the fuel that powers the daily grind. Losing that simple pleasure isn't just inconvenient, it's a disruption to life's rhythm. Right now, coffee's becoming less of a grocery aisle staple and more of a luxury. If battles with climate, logistics, and pricing continue, that comforting morning cup could be one of the first things to slip from the reach of everyday households. Can you imagine starting your day without it? That's the bitter reality we could soon be facing. 5. Rice, the disappearing pantry essential. Rice. It's simple, affordable, and the unsung hero of countless meals. From fried rice to comforting soups or as the perfect side for curries, rice has been a pantry staple for generations. But in 2025, this humble grain is getting harder to find, and the price hikes are starting to bite. Imagine this: shelves once stocked full of 20-pound bags of long-grain rice, now sitting eerily empty. And if you do spot one, you'll notice the price tag. That $9.99 bag you counted on? It's now $14.00 or more. What happened? The crisis started overseas. India, the world's biggest rice exporter, made a bold and shocking move in 2024 by banning non-basmati rice exports. This decision sliced 40% of global rice trade out of the market overnight. The ripple effects have hit hard, leaving countries scrambling to secure new sources. Distributors are eyeing alternative markets, but slow container shipping and skyrocketing freight costs are keeping supplies out of reach. Meanwhile, American grocery stores are caught in the crunch. Late shipments and inflated costs leave shelves sparse and prices soaring. For many families, especially those in immigrant communities, this isn't just an inconvenience. Rice is the foundation of their meals. The versatility of rice makes it the perfect ingredient for stretching leftovers, bulking up stews, and feeding larger families on a budget. Food banks are already feeling the pinch too. With demand rising and supplies dwindling, it's harder to secure the quantities they need to help struggling families. Panic buying is creeping back, not just from the ultra-prepared, but from regular shoppers who realize how quickly rice is disappearing. Rice may not have the glamour of other foods, but it's essential. And as it edges closer to scarcity, we're reminded just how fragile our food systems can be. If rice truly vanishes from our shopping carts, the impact will be felt far and wide. 4. Potato chips. The crunch that's disappearing. Think about it. What's a snack drawer without a bag of potato chips? For many of us, they're more than just a treat, they're comfort in a crunch. Whether it's a reward after a long day or the perfect pairing with a sandwich, potato chips are a staple. But in 2025, even this iconic snack is slipping from our reach. Here's the scoop. Over the past year, the cost of raw potatoes has skyrocketed by 35%. Why? Poor harvests in Idaho, which supplies about a third of America's potatoes, have been hit hard by extreme weather. Late frosts followed by sudden heat waves have wreaked havoc on crops. And that's just one layer of the issue. Diesel prices have soared, making it pricier to transport those heavy potato loads. But the challenges don't stop in the fields. Snack companies are grappling with soaring frying oil costs and supply chain issues with packaging materials. Yes, even those shiny foil bags are in short supply. And labor costs? They've driven some factories to cut back on production altogether. Walk down the snack aisle today and you'll notice smaller bags at higher prices. Some brands are practicing shrinkflation, where they put fewer chips in the same size bag, tricking your eyes while draining your wallet. Fast food joints aren't immune either. Portions of fries are shrinking and prices are creeping up. Suddenly, what used to be an affordable indulgence feels like a stretch for the budget. And here's the thing, potato chips aren't just about hunger. They're a tiny escape, a way to bring normalcy to chaotic days. But now, even this simple pleasure is at risk. When the crunch vanishes, so does a small piece of comfort for millions of families. The next time you grab for a bag, you might find empty shelves instead. 3. Cocoa, the bittersweet crisis. Sweet, comforting, and impossible to resist, cocoa has been a staple in kitchens and snack drawers for decades. But in 2025, this beloved treat is slipping through our fingers. Chocolate bars, drink powders, breakfast cereals, baked goods, they're all quietly disappearing or skyrocketing in price. What's going on with cocoa? It all traces back to West Africa, the source of over 60% of the world's cocoa beans. Two countries, Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana, are at the heart of this industry. But now they're facing serious trouble. Extreme weather, fueled by climate change, has hit these regions hard. El Niño has dumped heavier than usual rains, leading to soil erosion, root rot, and fungal diseases like black pod rot. Worse still, planting new trees is no quick fix. It takes years for cocoa trees to mature, leaving little hope for a rapid turnaround in production. These challenges have sent global cocoa prices into a frenzy, climbing over 130% in the past year. Here in the US, the effects are unavoidable. That once $6.00 container of cocoa powder now costs $12.00 or more. Chocolate bars? Smaller and more expensive. It's not just your imagination when you notice your favorite items shrinking. Grocery stores are cutting back orders. Food manufacturers are almost doubling prices, and corner bakeries are ditching chocolate-based desserts altogether, unable to afford the skyrocketing costs. Some companies are swapping real cocoa for artificial flavors just to save money. But here's the catch. It's not the same. That fudgy richness we associate with chocolate treats is hard to fake, and customers are already feeling that disappointment. For families, this crisis hits especially hard. Chocolate isn't just a treat. It's a piece of so many memories: birthday cakes, holiday cookies, or just curling up with a cup of hot cocoa in winter. Now, those simple moments carry a hefty price tag. And for those on tighter budgets, it's not just a price hike. It's the loss of one of life's small, affordable indulgences. And the worst part? This trend isn't stopping. With demand soaring in North America and Asia while production continues to fall, cocoa is on a collision course with scarcity. The result? Higher prices, more shortages, and an uncertain future for chocolate lovers everywhere. Cocoa is no longer just a sweet delight. It's becoming an endangered luxury, a stark reminder of how fragile our food systems really are. Enjoy it while you can, because it may not just vanish from your cart, it might vanish. Sure, almonds. The vanishing superfood. Almonds. They're everywhere. Whether it's almond milk in your coffee, almond flour in your gluten-free brownies, or just a handful of almonds as a snack, these crunchy little nuts have become a must-have in American households. But in 2025, almonds are on the edge of becoming a luxury item. And here's why this staple food is quickly slipping from shopping carts. The story starts in California, the powerhouse behind over 80% of the world's almond supply. But growing almonds has always been a delicate balance, and now that balance is tipping rapidly. The root of the problem? Water. Lots of water. Almonds are notorious for being one of agriculture's thirstiest crops. Just one almond takes close to a gallon of water to grow. Think about that for a second. Now, combine that with California's ongoing water crisis. Years of drought, shrinking snowpacks, and new water regulations are making it almost impossible for farmers to keep their orchards alive. For some, the cost of water alone has made farming almonds completely unaffordable. Orchards that once stretched for miles are now being ripped out because farmers can't justify the expense. But water isn't the only crisis. Almonds owe their existence to bees. These buzzing powerhouses are essential for pollination. But bee populations are plummeting. Exposure to pesticides, habitat loss, and disease have made commercial beekeeping more expensive than ever. Farmers now spend thousands of dollars per acre to rent hives during pollination season. And even then, many orchards don't produce their usual yields. All of these issues are driving almond prices through the roof. Whole almonds have climbed over 30% in price in just 1 year. Almond milk, once an affordable dairy alternative, is now nearing $5.00 for a half gallon. Almond butter is edging into double digits per jar. Even snack packs are getting smaller while prices keep rising. For many families, almonds aren't just a snack, and they're a vital part of plant-based and specialized diets. For those with lactose intolerance or gluten sensitivity, almonds have been a lifesaver. But with prices soaring and availability shrinking, some are being forced to choose less nutritious alternatives like oat milk or soy-based products. If California's water issues persist and climate disruptions get worse, the almond industry may face an even steeper decline. That means fewer almond products, skyrocketing prices, and a tough reality check for millions of households. What was once seen as brown gold in the food industry is quickly becoming exactly that: rare, expensive, and slipping out of reach for the everyday shopper. 1. Canned foods. The vanishing pantry hero. Think about it. Canned foods have always been the ultimate safety net in our kitchens. From beans to tuna, soups to corn, these shelf-stable staples are the unsung heroes of busy lives and emergency situations. But in 2025, even these dependable pantry items are slipping out of our grasp. What's causing this sudden crisis? It's a perfect storm of shrinking supplies, skyrocketing costs, and production challenges. First, there's the problem with ingredients. Many canned goods rely on large-scale harvests of corn, tomatoes, green beans, and tuna. But climate disruptions, like severe droughts in California and the Midwest, have decimated vegetable yields. On top of that, overfishing and rising ocean temperatures are cutting global fish stocks, pushing tuna and other seafood supplies to all-time lows. With less to work with, canneries are struggling to keep up, and it doesn't stop there. The cans themselves are in trouble. The aluminum and steel needed to produce them have skyrocketed in price, thanks to high energy costs and mining restrictions. Manufacturers face shortages of materials and are being forced to trim varieties or cut production. Suddenly, your usual selection of soup flavors or budget-friendly beans is nowhere to be found. Transportation and labor costs are just adding fuel to the fire. Canning is energy-heavy, requiring cooking, sterilization, and packaging at every step. With rising fuel and electricity costs, producers are scaling back, leaving shelves half empty and prices spiraling upward. That $1.50 can of chili? Say hello to $2.50, if you can even find it. For low-income families, this isn't just inconvenient, it's devastating. Canned food stretches meals, feeds kids, and fills the gaps when fresh options aren't available. Now food banks are feeling the crunch too, struggling to stock these disappearing essentials. Canned food has always been our fallback. But in 2025, even the fallback is falling apart. When familiar brands vanish from shelves, it's a clear sign that even the most reliable foods are no longer immune to collapse.